That was great! Excellent! Woo! What a rush! I haven't felt this great in a long, long time.
He disappeared! But he looked pretty content at the end there. Huh. Well, Paimon sure is confused. Do you know what that was all about?
Ja, ich kann es mir so ungefähr vorstellen. Dieser Geist war, er sagt, damit unzufrieden, wie er sagt, von der Welt, naja, abgetreten ist. Er hatte, er sagt, keinen sehr guten, oder besser keinen gleichwertigen Gegner in seinem Leben gehabt. War, er sagt, unzufrieden, war verbitternd gestorben. Und jetzt, wo er sagt, in uns einen würdigen Gegner gefunden hatte, ja, hat er, sagt, seinen Groll abgelegt, ist zufrieden und kann jetzt, er sagt, auf die andere Seite übergehen.
We can talk about it later. They're about to wake up.
What am I doing here? Yae? Yae, is that you?
Shingo, are you alright?
Yae, I had the weirdest dream. I dreamed that I wasn't a useless loser with a sword anymore. I even beat one of Domon's disciples. I thought we could finally open a dojo of our own now. But then I realized I couldn't control my own body. And there was this voice in my ear talking to me constantly. I was terrified and I wanted to take control of my body back, but I couldn't. And the voice kept talking about manliness.
Shingo, we shouldn't have made that wish. We summoned a spirit and it possessed you.
Yes, and had we not come to your rescue, your life would have been over before too much longer. Then the spirit would have haunted your brother until he died of fatigue too.
Thank you, Lady Guji. And thank you for your assistance, exorcism experts.
All right, take him to get some rest. He's very weak right now, having been possessed for quite a few days. He will experience a high fever, but it won't be fatal. Remember, this is the price you pay. At this point, I would normally lecture you on the dire consequences of using occult methods to obtain power that does not belong to you. But I think you get the picture now, don't you?
Yes, we understand now. We won't do it ever again.
Thank you, Lady Guji. Thank you, exorcists. We'll be on our way then. Come on, Shingo.
Miko, would they really have lost their lives if we hadn't gotten involved? And if so, why the heck were you so reluctant to help out?
They would have been fine. I had to scare them a little, though. Otherwise, I hardly think these two lazy rascals would have learned their lesson.
So, what was it that possessed Shingo?
You saw it all for yourselves. I'm sure you can figure out what kind of spirit had possessed him, can't you?
Tja, mal sehen. Eine Menge Kraft und Enthusiasmus?
Ah! Paimon's got it. It was Oni.
Correct. Although it possessed Shingo, it didn't have any ill intentions. As a matter of fact, it actually seemed like it was trying to train Shingo to become bolder.
Huh. Fair enough. But it seemed like it had the opposite effect.
Tossing salt caused it to temporarily leave Shingo's body. Then, you exhausted its strength by fighting it, so it disappeared. Even if we'd done nothing at all, Shingo would have eventually become too weak for his body to host the spirit, and it would have left of its own accord. Of course, it would have been more stressful for Shingo and Yohei that way. Still, the experience may ultimately have been more effective than me scaring them into submission with a little exaggeration.
Whew. Well, the main thing is that nobody got hurt.
All right, seems like we've wrapped up everything here. Come on, off we go.
Hold on, Miko. You say everything's wrapped up, but are you sure about that?
You mean you disagree?
Naja, dieses Buch, ein Leitfaden zur Geisterbeschwörung aus erster Hand.
Oh, you mean that they got the incantation from that book? Yes, I know the one.
Actually, that book's the whole reason we came looking for you at the shrine today. Incantations seem really popular right now.
Human beings don't have powers like us yokai. It's quite understandable for them to be interested in incantations to summon the supernatural.
That's not the point. The problem is that the incantations in the book are actually capable of summoning spirits and stuff. And loads of people are trying it.
Even then, humans only have so much strength. Even if they do successfully summon a spirit with the incantation, it won't stay with them for very long. I really wouldn't fret about it.
But who wrote this book? And why? Don't we think there might be a bigger safety risk here? What do you think, Traveler?
Tja, ein wenig beunruhigt es mich schon.
Yeah, Yae and Shingo may have been fine in the end, but things got pretty scary when Shingo was possessed.
Lady Yae, I finally found you.
Kuroda, what are you doing here?
I'm here to report on Yae Publishing House's sales for the last month. All the numbers are here. Please take a look.
Let me see. What? We're losing market share?
Und das ist jetzt der Moment in der Story, wo Yae Miko sich so denkt, ja, ich muss jetzt doch mal was gegen dieses Buch der Geisterbeschwörung tun.
Yes, overall bestseller, reader's favorite, and trending ranking. We're being beaten in all categories. One book is topping the charts. It's called A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits.
Both of you, back here now!
Miko? What is it? You have a really scary look on your face right now.
Things just got serious. A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits is an all-round hit, summarily beating the novels of the Yae Publishing House by every analysis.
Was meinst du mit Längen?
Just what is that supposed to mean? I worked extremely hard to promote our latest featured work, and now a rival book comes out of nowhere and steals our thunder. If this isn't the very definition of intolerable, I don't know what is. I have to come up with a counterplan, and you are going to help me.
Huh? How is this our problem all of a sudden?
Paimon, please. Who wrote this book and why? Don't we think there might be a bigger safety risk here?
Ja, ein Sicherheitsrisiko für die Einnahmen des Verlagshaus Jahr. Das ist es jetzt.
Am I to take it that the safety of the people of Inazuma isn't so important in your eyes after all?
Wait, what just happened? Again, you technically have a point, but this feels all wrong.
Nothing's wrong, okay? Come on. We're going to war. I'm going to head back and make some preparations. Meet me outside the Yae Publishing House.
Na, das ist doch jetzt schon mal ein neuer Plan, den wir auch gut und gerne jetzt mal in Angriff nehmen können. Schreibfreunde, geht zum Verlagshaus Jae. Na, da haben wir doch endlich mal wieder was Neues vor. Und ansonsten, der erste Versuch, er sagt mit Kamisato, Ayato, war er sagt schon mal nicht schlecht gewesen. Aber es hätte jetzt, er sagt, schon mal um einiges besser laufen können. Aber vielleicht lag es, er sagt, jetzt auch an den Gegner, den wir hatten. Dass jetzt nicht alles so optimal ablief. Aber in der Kombination mit Raidens Kräften waren die Angriffe schon ein bisschen besser dann gewesen. denn? Verlagshaus Yae. Zeit für die weiteren Ermittlungen. Da sind wir,
Alright,
Miko.
Miko, we're here. So what's your plan of action to deal with this rival book?
Why don't you take a guess? I'll give you a hint. It's to do with the Yae Publishing House.
Oh, Paimon knows! Combine the reputation of the Yae Publishing House with the status of Guji Yae and tell everyone that the incantations in that book are dangerous!
Oh, wow. Your first guess and you got it absolutely wrong.
Yeah! Wait! Seriously? That wasn't it?
A first-hand guide to summoning spirits is the hottest light novel right now. If we did as you suggested, we would effectively be advertising to everyone that the incantations are real. In bending over backwards trying to warn everyone about the dangers, all we would accomplish is to create more curious readers ready to try them out. Also, sales for the book would only increase further.
Okay, yeah, that would be pretty catastrophic. Oh, how about we confiscate all the copies?
Leaving aside the issue of the enormous manpower and resources such an operation would require, going to such lengths over a light novel would be extremely disruptive to the lives of Inazumans.
But that means there's nothing we can do.
Well, I've been thinking. I've read a first-hand guide to summoning spirits. It has many other good qualities besides the incantations alone. The book contains many ancient kaiden, or tales of the supernatural, and is written in a very engaging way. That is why the book has become so popular. I think we're going to have a difficult time trying to rein in its popularity while it's the only work in its league on the market.
Warte, du meinst also, dass wir, sag jetzt, ein, naja, ebenbürtiges Konkurrenzprodukt erschaffen?
That's right. How do you get rid of the next big thing? You replace it with the next big thing. So what we're going to do is create Inazuma's newest hit novel. Smash our rival's sales numbers and win our readers back. That is how Yae Miko wages war. Incidentally, this will also be the best way to combat the influence of a first-hand guide to summoning spirits.
Wait, Miko, so you want us to write a novel?
Kann ich das wirklich tun?
Well, becoming an accomplished novelist certainly isn't an overnight process. But let's not forget that I am the chief editor of the Yae Publishing House. I have my ways. I did say this is what we're going to do. I trust that the word teamwork is in your vocabulary. Anyway, there is a writer's submission event going on at the moment. Start by talking to readers and finding out what they're into. When you have an idea of what the current trends are, come back and see me. I'll be at Uyu Restaurant. Find me there when you're done. I will assemble a team, and we can work while we eat.
Das ist schon mal ein ziemlich guter Plan. Also jetzt erstmal wieder Informationsbeschaffung. Was interessiert den Leuten, Was ist aktuell so im Trend? Was mögen die Leute lesen? Was sind ihre Vorlieben? Was ist der Sack jetzt angesagt? Was könnte der Sack ein gutes Buch werden? Fangen wir an mit der Informationsbeschaffung.
The key to a successful light novel is having good illustrations. When to use illustrations, what they should contain, and which artist you should commission for them. These are all key things to bear in mind. Good illustrations can make up for bad writing. But on the flip side, a bad illustration can ruin your novel, even if you have the best story in the world. There's a saying that light novels are essentially a case of buy art, get words free. I'd agree with that.
Too bad most of the top artists have jam-packed schedules, so it's extremely difficult to commission them. The illustrations in A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits are incredible, but it's unlike any art style I've ever seen before.
Okay, ist jetzt klar. Wir schreiben den ersten Manga in der Geschichte des Landes Inazuma. Das wird auf jeden Fall sicherlich ankommen.
I'll be honest, I read light novels for the cheap thrills. In most traditional stories, the protagonist usually has this long and drawn-out character arc, usually involving a process of separation, loss, and ultimately growth and renewed strength. It reads well and everything, it's just a little slow-paced for me. By contrast, there's this popular light novel at the moment called A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits, where the protagonist is super strong right from the get-go. That's what I mean by cheap thrills. Action-packed right from page one. The protagonist is a kitsune who has not only mastered the secret art of incantations, but also tea ceremony, painting, and calligraphy.
Okay, es ist also eine Kitsune. Ist das jetzt etwa vielleicht eine Geschichte aus dem Leben von Yae Miko? Aber ansonsten, wenn er sagt, der Typ hier, Tetsuo, Charaktere mag, die er sagt, von vornherein stark sind, dass er sagt, das Ganze er sagt, nicht so lange dauern soll, bis er sagt, ein Hauptcharakter so stark ist, um es mit jedem aufzunehmen. Ja, dann nehmen wir halt den Manga. The hero is, wie hieß das jetzt noch? The hero is cautious but totally overpowered. Kopieren wir einfach den Manga.
I've been reading light novels for a long time now. I'm mainly into big, ambitious fantasy works with an original core concept and good storytelling. These days, though, everyone seems to be imitating each other. Most of the time, I can guess what the story is about just from the title. The only recent book worth mentioning is A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits. Not only is it a good story, but the descriptions are really true to life. So much so that I'm almost wondering if maybe the author really has met all those yokai before.
There's much more to light novels than Paimon realized. Let's go tell our findings to Yae Miko.
Tja, jetzt ist es ganz klar, wir schreiben unsere Memoiren. Wir schreiben jetzt, er sagt, eine Geschichte über unsere bisherigen Abenteuer in der Welt von Genshin Impact. Das wird, er sagt, ein Kassenschlager werden. Ganz offensichtlich. Ein Reisetagebuch. Die Paimon-Tagebücher. Bisheriger Arbeitstitel.
There you are. Let me introduce the team. You've already met Junkichi and Shigeru. Shigeru is an experienced editor, and Junkichi is the author he's partnered with. Junkichi's working through a creative lull at the moment, but all his past works have been very popular with young people. He's developed a distinct and enduringly popular style. Satomi is Yae Publishing House's ace in the hole. Her specialty is that she can write all kinds of completely different stories and all under different pen names. As for what those names are, well, that's a trade secret. They will be teaming up with us to collectively create the novel that knocks A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits off its perch. So, feeling better about my plan now?
Uh-huh. It definitely makes sense.
Now then, tell me what you found out about readers' preferences.
Du erzählst Yae Miko die Meinung der Leser.
All very true. An original core concept, a fast pace, quality illustrations, and lots of action. This is the formula that will guarantee good sales numbers.
Also ganz klar, wir machen einen Manga.
More importantly than that, even though it's a work of fiction, we have to deliver a sense of realism.
Paimon followed pretty much all of that, but there's still one question. What are we actually gonna write about? For example, we know we need an original core concept. But how do we come up with one?
Before you can answer that question, you have to understand your target audience. Take a first-hand guide to summoning spirits, for example. When I read it, all I find is common knowledge to the kitsune. But to the general public, it's bursting with new and interesting ideas. It all comes down to the size of the information gap between author and reader. As a traveler, there must be a great many things you know that are complete unknowns to the people of Inazuma. What is commonplace to you may be fresh and original to them.
Oh, right! So maybe we can take inspiration from our time in Mondstadt and Lille. But that would make it a completely different genre than a first-hand guide to summoning spirits. Is that gonna be a problem?
Not at all. You don't have to worry so much about how to compete with that book. All you have to do is provide some interesting ideas based on your travel experiences. As long as the core content is interesting, my expert team here will be able to flesh out the details.
Alright, let's start with chapter 1 then. What are you thinking?
Das ist, er sagt, wirklich passend. Das ist, er sagt, meistens immer ein guter Titel. Wiedergeboren in einer anderen Welt, Begegnung mit fliegenden Knabbereien und der Arbeitssteuerbade, der Drache und das große Abenteuer. Ja, das wäre eigentlich der ideale Name für ein Kapitel. Das erste wäre, er sagt, zu sehr eine Anlehnung an meine Wiedergeburt als Schleim in einer anderen Welt. Das wäre, er sagt, jetzt nun wirklich eine zu große Anlehnung, würde ich mal sagen. Der arbeitsscheue Bade, das wäre, sagt, zu langweilig. Aber so, der Drache und das große Abenteuer? Ja, das hört sich, sagt, schon gut an.
This sounds like a great one.
Gut, ein wunderbares erstes Kapitel.
Let's see here. The protagonist arrives in Mondstadt for the first time to the sight of a dragon flying around and wreaking havoc on the city. With the help of some trusty companions, the protagonist successfully defeats the dragon. But then, the dragon suddenly turns into a beautiful young woman. Huh?
Also, das haben selbst wir anders in Erinnerung. Der Drache war immer noch ein Drache gewesen und die einzige schöne junge Frau, die, naja, wie alt sie, er sagt, war, keine Ahnung. Aber auf jeden Fall die einzige Frau, die dann, er sagt, später noch vorkam, war, er sagt, La Signora. Und ja, sie wiederum war, er sagt, ein Miststück.
Human, let us work together to build a better future. The love story between human and dragon begins today?
Jetzt beginnt es jetzt langsam eine Geschichte rund um Miss Kobayashis Dragon Maid zu werden.
Well, that was an unexpected development. What happened to the grand adventure?
Nun ja, das große Abenteuer ist nur der Name des Protagonisten.
What? But that's so misleading.
Es wird aber ankommen.
Out of a maximum of 10 points, I'd give that a 9. The story certainly goes in an unorthodox direction, and the Dragon Girl sounds destined to be a hit character. Approved.
Finde ich auch, wird genehmigt. Drachenmädchen kommen immer gut an. Sei es, er sagt, nun in Animes, in Mangas oder natürlich auch im Yu-Gi-Oh! Kartenspiel.
What the heck?
Good job, little one. You're not only drawing on your own experiences, but it seems you're filtering them through the lens of the kinds of light novels you've read in the past. I think you really understand what we're trying to do here. Thoughts from the experts? Are we able to work with this general framework to make an interesting story?
Yeah, we think it works. I tend to overcomplicate the core concept if I'm not careful, so this deals with that problem.
That's good. Okay, we're done with Chapter 1. Let's move on to Chapter 2.
Na gut, beginnen wir mit Kapitel 2.
Do for now?
Readers will devour your content a lot more quickly than you'd think. If we don't keep delivering the goods now we've caught their attention, all our hard work so far is in vain. Hurry, chapter 2, let's go. Can't you see that Satomi is waiting?
Ja, sie ist schon ganz aufgeregt.
What's wrong with you? You don't look so good.
Ja, mir fallen aktuell keine weiteren Geschichten ein.
What a pity. I thought your beginner's luck would carry you a little further before it came to this. But alas, the time has come prematurely.
Before it came to what? What's happened?
The bane of our existence. Writer's block. It's your arch nemesis for life, appearing without warning and inflicting a pain worse than death upon the writer. They sell their souls just to get their muse back.
Sounds awful!
When this happens, the best thing you can do is have a bite to eat and take a proper break. Boss, get me a plate of fried tofu, and get some kushikatsu for these two. Just the basic kind will do. Don't worry, this is my treat.
Your treat? Oh, wait a minute. Miko, we'll be getting paid for all the hard work we're doing, right?
Of course, everyone that takes part in the creative process will be paid.
Alright, cool. Then let's press on, shall we? Don't give up now. For the sake of our paycheck, get your brain going!
Okay, Gehalt. Mora.
Ooh, does this mean your inspirations come back?
Jetzt wird's auch wieder mal schwierig. Eine Reise nach Liu, der Reiseleiter, der sich als Rex Lapis entpuppte. Das Rock'n'Roll-Mädchen. Die Verwandlung in eine junge Geodrachenechse. Naja, die wenigsten werden ein bisschen was mit Rex Lapis anfangen können. Das Rock'n'Roll-Mädchen, das geht irgendwie jetzt von unserer Grundidee jetzt ein bisschen weg. Und die Verwandlung in eine junge Geodrachenechse? Na, ich weiß nicht. Die meisten Leute kennen ja sowieso auch keine Geodrachenechsen hier in Inazuma. Rock'n'Roll, er sagt schon ein bisschen eher, denke ich. Xinjiang hatte ja vor kurzem noch mal ein... Naja, obwohl das Konzert wurde ja eigentlich abgesagt. Aber wenn er sagt, andere Leute diese Geschichte jetzt hier lesen würden, anstatt die Leute von Inazuma, dann kommt er, sagt das Ganze in Eliue doch ans Tageslicht, dass Rex Lapis immer noch am Leben ist. Das lassen wir dann mal weg. Das Rock'n'Roll-Mädchen oder die Verwandlung in eine junge Geodrachenechse. Andererseits das erste wäre, er sagt, nun wirklich, er sagt, viel besser. Oder?
Let's see now. The protagonist arrives in Liyue and befriends a young man who doesn't have the money to pay for anything. Only later do we find out that this young man is none other than Rex Lapis himself.
Naja, vielleicht müssen wir das Ganze nochmal überarbeiten.
With the help of the Qixing and the protection of the Adepti, I am free to roam this vast realm. Is this the kind of cheap thrill that guy was talking about?
I give it a 9.8.
Hey. Gut, die Geschichte war zwar ein bisschen schlecht jetzt, er sagt gemacht, aber hey, eine 9,8 von Yae Mikos. Da muss die Geschichte ja gut sein. Und was spannt er sagt, die Dame, da er sagt, hinter uns, er sagt immer darum. Sie beobachtet uns ein bisschen zu sehr bei der Arbeit.
The story is fun and action-packed with no dark undertones. Also, there are a great many legends about Rex Lapis. I'm sure it will spark the people's curiosity.
Na, da bin ich jetzt aber froh. Ich hatte jetzt eigentlich gedacht, dass in Inazuma die Legenden über Rex Lapis nicht gerade sehr verbreitet sind.
I, for one, think there's a sizable market for this. Approved.
Alright, well, let's just hope Zhongli doesn't mind.
Great. Well, now Satomi can get started on that.
Leave it to me, Lady Yae.
Let's write about Inazuma in the 3rd chapter, shall we? I can help with this one. We can use the Vision Hunt Decree or your experience in the Resistance. Any ideas?
Ah, gut. Es reicht. Schluss mit dem Augenhatzdekret. Lebewohl, Buchhatzdekret. Buchhatzdekret? Was soll das denn jetzt sein? Anfang als Widerstandssoldat. Lasst uns im 3. Kapitel über Inazuma schreiben. Ja, ich kann bei diesem Kapitel helfen. Wir können das Augenhatzdekret oder deine Erfahrung im Widerstand nutzen. Hast du eine Idee? Tja. Okay, das war eigentlich jetzt nicht beabsichtigt, aber es reicht. Schluss mit dem Augenhatzdekret.
Clearly very closely based on your own personal experience, with no major changes at all.
Naja, mir gehen nun halt die Ideen aus. Außerdem fühle ich mich jetzt ein bisschen unwohl, dass wir, die ganze Zeit bei der Arbeit beobachtet werden von der Dame im Hintergrund.
That's fine. Since it's something that took place in Inazuma, it might actually be more interesting to readers if it's grounded in the truth. One thing, though. We'll need to rewrite the part about me giving you the omamori. Let's change it to... The mysterious Lady Kitsune teaches the protagonist a spell that can make their wishes come true. The protagonist uses this spell to defeat the Raiden Shogun in battle. That should do the trick.
Whoa. So we're really going head-to-head with our rival on this one, huh?
I suppose so. Once they're done writing the manuscript, I'll write the passage where the protagonist recites the incantation myself.
Are we done then? Do you really think this will be able to beat a first-hand guide to summoning spirits?
The content is fine. Now we just need to promote it. I will contact an artist to make some illustrations. I'm positive they will be at least as good as those in A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits. We'll also need an endorsement on a paper band around the book. I can get the wonderful Ms. Hina to write that. She runs a regular Q&A column in That's Life magazine. The people of Inazuma absolutely adore her. You're free to take a break while the creative team is doing their work, but please go by the Yae publishing house at some point to commission Ms. Hina for that recommendation. Once our light novel is complete, let's meet at the writer's submission event.
Na, da bin ich jetzt schon mal ziemlich gespannt. Und ansonsten wird Okazaki Rikuto? Ich möchte gerne was bestellen. Bist du schon hungrig? Komm, probiere etwas von Erikas Küche. Wer bist du? Ich bin der Besitzer dieser Izakaya. Du kannst gerne alles bestellen, gib deine Bestellung einfach bei Erika auf. Was mich betrifft, so denke ich, dass ihre Küche eine der besten in Inazuma ist. Du bist der Besitzer und du trinkst? Warum nicht? Sake in meine Hand, feine Küche an meinen Tisch. Nach einem arbeitsreichen Leben wie dem meinen, denke ich, dass ich zumindest 1 oder 2 Drinks verdient habe. Mach es weiterhin so gut und wenn du eines Tages der Chef bist, kannst du auch so leben wie ich. Ich darf noch nicht trinken. Das liegt daran, dass du noch zu jung bist. Es hat Vorteile, nicht zu trinken, Junge. Junge Menschen sollten es nicht eilig haben. Komm schon, lass uns mal gegrillte Spieße essen. Es ist ein köstliches Essen, auch ohne Alkohol. Da sage ich nicht nein. Und wer ist jetzt hier die Erika? Oh, wir haben trotz allem jetzt Essen gekriegt. Nett. Aber jetzt erstmal zurück zum Verlagshaus. Ja. Aber ja, sehr nett. Wir haben trotz allem ein bisschen was zu essen gekriegt. Das war also ein gelungener Arbeitstag im Verlag. Dann können wir gleich mal sehen, wie unser Buch durch die Decke gehen wird. Der erste Manga im Lande Inazuma. Ich hoffe jedenfalls, dass so das Ergebnis am Ende aussehen wird. Ich hoffe es, ich hoffe es. Also keine Ahnung, was aktuell hier eigentlich los ist. Aber erst sagt diese Tonprobleme am Anfang. der Aufnahme und jetzt auf einmal? Laden die einzelnen Charaktere und die Gegenstände hier nicht so recht. Irgendwelche kleinen Probleme gibt es anscheinend mit der Version 2.6. Auf jeden Fall wohl irgendwie bei mir. Du erzählst Kuroda von der Situation.
Miss Hina doesn't usually do endorsements, but since it's Lady Guji that's asking, we'll see what we can do. With Miss Hina getting so popular lately, a lot of people have come to us hoping to do a collaboration. But Miss Hina's not interested in any of it. She still prefers to focus all her efforts on replying to readers' letters, and turns down every promotional opportunity she can. Maybe that's why her fans like her so much. I'm getting off topic here. Anyway, if we can get that endorsement from Miss Hina, you'll definitely get an exposure boost at the beginning. May your light novel sell well and set a new record for the Yae Publishing House.
We'll do our best.
Gut, geh zu dem Schreibwettbewerb und reiche deinen Beitrag ein. Na, wenn's weiter nichts ist. Es wird Zeit, die neueste Top-Geschichte in ganz Inazuma zu veröffentlichen. Yae Miko bringt euch die fertige Kurzerzählung.
Let me see. The Miraculous Adventures of the Traveler by 1000 Hands.
What a strange pen name. Definitely your doing. Having been around you so much recently, Paimon's slowly starting to understand your unique tastes.
What do you mean, strange? It took a lot of work by a lot of different people to get this thing finished. Don't you think it's a very descriptive pen name?
We'll get this printed as a matter of priority and conduct trial sales in pilot locations throughout Inazuma. I'll announce the sales numbers in 3 days.
Uh-oh. Paimon's getting a little nervous now. Do you really think this is gonna work?
Wir hatten ein erstklassiges Team und wir sind Experten.
That's right. Be confident in your work. That's exactly how a light novelist should be.
Okay, then I'll sign you up. Please come back in 3 days for the results. Thank you all for your submission. I wish you the very best of luck.
Also gut, warte 3 Tage. Meinen Sie, dass er sagt jetzt ernsthaft, dass wir jetzt wirklich 3 Tage warten sollen? Okay, ich will, er sagt jetzt wirklich mal hoffen, dass er sagt mit... Ah, warte mal, ich wollte doch längst bei den Einstellungen mal was nachsehen. Ton. Lautstärke 10 von 10, Musik 10 von 10. Vollständig, Stereoton. Info. Tja, keine Ahnung, das muss ja wirklich was am Server liegen. Aber wie dem auch sei, die Zeit. Mal sehen, wie viele Tage können wir, sag jetzt... Okay, versuchen wir es so mal erstmal. Es kann ja nun wirklich nicht sein, dass wir, sag, wirklich richtige Tage hier verstreichen lassen müssen. Okay, Umstände auf 6:43 übermorgen. Morgen, übermorgen. Und da müssen wir jetzt, sag, noch einen weiteren Tag verstreichen lassen, wie es aussieht. Anders kann ich mir das Ganze jetzt nicht erklären. Gut, jetzt ist also der richtige Zeitpunkt gekommen.
You've all finally made it. Good news, everyone. I just received word that your light novel is flying off the shelves. Multiple sales locations are asking when we'll be printing more copies.
Und dabei sind Semmeln, er sagt, nun wirklich eine deutsche Erfindung. Glaube ich jedenfalls. Das ist jetzt mal eine interessante Frage. Ich habe jetzt schon lange keine Semmel mehr gegessen. Oder warte mal, war eine Semmel nicht vielleicht eher was Österreichisches? Zum allerersten Mal von der Semmel habe ich, glaube ich, was gehört aus der alten Krimiserie Kommissar Rex. Okay, das war jetzt leider ein bisschen enttäuschender, als was ich gedacht habe. Weil die Erklärung des Namens Semmel ist, er sagt, ganz einfach die Bezeichnung für Brötchen. Für Brötchen jedweder Art. Tja, dann könnte man auch gleich schreiben. Die Erzählung geht weg wie warme Brötchen. Aber, naja, der Spruch warme Semmeln, den gibt's ja sowieso schon ziemlich lange. Und vielleicht wurden die Brötchen früher, sagt zuallererst, auch Semmel genannt. Aber eine Semmel, die ich erst kenne, ist ein bisschen anders als ein Brötchen. Muss man einfach so sagen. Andererseits, wenn ich das jetzt so darüber nachdenke, eine Semmel. In der Serie Kommissar Rex, da war eine Semmel eigentlich wirklich meistens eher ein Kaiserbrötchen. Also muss es wirklich wohl ein Überbegriff sein für Brötchen. Und jetzt lese ich, sagt hier sowieso auch, dass man eigentlich nur in Bayern und in manchen Teilen von Thüringen und Sachsen Semmel dazu sagt. Die Schwaben und wiederum die Badener hingegen nennen das Brötchen liebevoll Weckle. Naja, man könnte meinen, das passt ja. Frühstück, Wecken, ja, das Weckle.
Woohoo! That's great!
This level of success is an amazing accomplishment for a new work. Most new books don't sell 30% of what you've sold. I have free copies for each of you here. Please take them. The payment will follow shortly, and I'll notify you to come and collect it when the time comes.
Ja, das ist alles toll, aber...
Yeah! The whole reason why we made this light novel was to combat the influence of a first-hand guide to summoning spirits. We sold a lot of copies, but it doesn't feel like we accomplished our goal. How do we know whether it worked?
Oh, don't worry. The change is already underway. Shh. Listen to what the people around us are talking about. The conversation has already moved on, hasn't it?
Hey guys, have you heard about this latest Kaidan thing doing the rounds? You just need to recite the incantation from A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits at midnight, and your wish will come true! Oh, that? That's a throwback. That's old news, man. No one's talking about that anymore. The Secret Spells of Lady Kitsune is the new hit thing. I've already memorized all the incantations. The Secret Spells of Lady Kitsune? What's that?
You haven't read it yet? Okay, so supposedly, if you recite the spell in there on a moonless night, you'll receive protection of the Kitsune and all the other powerful yokai. They can make any of your wishes come true. I heard that the incantations in A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits have weird side effects. This one guy wished for a load of mora and got it, but then one night it all turned to leaves and he developed a high fever. They actually had to use one of the secret spells of Lady Kitsune to get rid of the discomfort. That proves that the incantations in this book are more potent than the ones everyone was trying before. Pretty much everyone I know is desperate to try it out. Just waiting for a moonless night.
Really? Well, I better go and prepare too.
Yae Miko, willst du uns irgendetwas sagen? Das ist, sagt, nicht der Titel unseres Buches.
Well, feeling less worried now?
Wow, you're right! Everyone's shifting focus! But what's this moonless night that they're talking about? Hyman doesn't remember that detail from the brainstorming session.
This is something that will become very important to us further down the line. All right, it's time to move on to the next phase of the plan.
Eh? There's a phase 2?
Of course. Behind every book that hits the market lies an author, right?
Oh yeah. If we leave him to his own devices, he might just write another guide to summoning spirits. Also, we still need to figure out what his motive for writing it was.
Exactly. That's what we need to take care of next. Fortunately, I've already managed to identify the author. He's a failed light novelist named Tomoyuki. But when we went to ask him about it, he had no recollection whatsoever of having written the book.
Soll das also heißen, er wurde, er sagt, selbst von einem Yokai besessen? Beseelt und hat dann das Buch geschrieben? Das würde natürlich auch erklären, wieso er, sagt, richtige Zaubersprüche in dem Buch schreiben konnte.
Yes, this is another case of possession. Only this time, whoever possessed him actively sought him out. After his novel submission failed, he was walking aimlessly in Araumi. In frustration, he shouted out, "Please, someone, anyone, help me write a truly amazing novel." After that, he lost consciousness.
But the spirit that wrote the book has already left him now, right? So what are we supposed to do?
Simple. It wrote a summoning incantation in the book, didn't it? So we can just use its own method to make it manifest itself. And you, my little friend, are the perfect candidate for this role.
Ist es so spät für mich, um auszusteigen?
Oh, what are you talking about? The fun's just about to begin.
Der Gesichtsausdruck war nicht gerade sehr vertrauenserweckend. Okay. Oh, sieh mal an, das ist ja unser eigenes Buch? Na, das sieht doch gut aus. Dies ist eine eher konventionelle Kurzerzählung, deren Inhalt im Wesentlichen eine bearbeitete Version des wahren Lebens in Teyvat ist. Überraschend ist jedoch, dass der Autor die Insel Watatsumi sehr gut zu kennen scheint und viele lebendige, fast lebensechte Beschreibungen liefert. Fräulein Hina. Die wundersamen Abenteuer des Reisenden. Wunderbares Buch. Kann ich jedem bloß empfehlen. So, aber jetzt müssen wir erstmal selbst eine Oh, wir sind ja schon fast da. Aber jetzt müssen wir erstmal selbst eine geeignete Geisterbeschwörung gleich mal durchführen. Also gut, wir nähern uns, jetzt schon der Position. Natürlich mal wieder in der altbekannten Höhle unter Inazuma, unter Narukami. Oder besser gesagt, es geht mal wieder in einen Dungeon hinein.